What's up, guys? This is Sin and I am back here with an announcement video, and this announcement video is a special one because I don't think I've ever seen this done on the platform, and I'm excited to announce it because, I mean, if it is there, I'm sorry. I don't mean to like steal your cred, but I feel like this is gonna be exciting regardless because it's gonna bring a lot of attention to the community, and I feel like it could catch on to the rest of the community. And if it hasn't been done before and you want to do it, hey, I'm not opposed to you doing it for yourself because I feel like this would bring a lot of more togetherness in the community, if you will. So today I'm here to announce the Pokemon Go Community Day Shiny Hunting Race. Now, what does this consist of? There's obviously got to be some rules because it's a race, and it's kind of like a versus in a sort. There's got to be rules. So let's get to those rules, and I will explain them as much as I can and try and explain them in a great detail so that everybody can understand and that everybody can do this for themselves and implement their own way of playing Pokemon Go. So the first rule is that you must be in the same area at the same time. Now, what do I mean by that? So I live in Iowa, and I know that Thomas he lives with me. He's been living with me since we've dated. You have to be in the same area. So if you're like, just say you're Josh and Elliot, 4th Gen Gamer and Galactic Elliot, for example, and they both live in New York. They could hook up at like some park in New York and do a shiny hunting race together, but they have to be at the same area at the same time. Same thing goes for any person who's gonna do this. I would recommend it, just because it's a more fair race at that point, because some parks and places generate more Pokemon than others, and you kind of want this to be as fair and balanced as possible. So that is rule number one, and that is got to be the biggest rule because it has to balance out the system. You cannot have someone over in New York facing somebody over in Los Angeles because they have different spawn points and how much they spawn at the same time versus somebody who lives in like Montana or something, or Colorado or something like that. So you got to kind of make it as balanced as possible in that regard. Rule number 2 is no incense shall be used unless all contestants have an incense and it is used at the same time. And that is a big rule because obviously you don't want to have a huge disadvantage over your opponent who may be using an incense at the time. I feel like that's an unfair advantage, and it could lead to a lopsided victory for the person who has used the incense, or multiple incenses for that matter. Yes, it is an item that you can obtain pretty easily by buying one in the shop or just leveling up, for example, just to name a couple. But you gotta have both be using it at the same time. And if one person has 2 lure modules and the other person has 1, you can only both use just that one. Lure modules are okay because once someone places a lure module, then everybody gets the extra spawn encounters, not just the one person. So lure modules, okay. And we're gonna go on to rule number 3. And that rule is that all shiny Pokemon count towards your total. Now, for example, in September, Chikorita is the featured Pokemon for Pokemon Go Community Day. Now let's just say, out of random chance, you just find a shiny Murkrow, or a shiny Swablu, or a shiny Roselia, or any of the other Pokemon that have a possibility of being shiny. That still counts towards your total. Now, you'd be like, you may only find shiny Chikoritas, but there is the offset chance, because this happened to me on a Community Day a couple times. It has happened to my fiance a couple times during Pokemon Go Community Days. I believe he got a shiny Swablu on Community Day, and I got he got it for Charmander, and I got a shiny Murkrow on shiny Eevee Community Day. So those Pokemon go towards your total, and I feel like that's fair because a shiny is a shiny. They're already rare enough as it is. So excluding the ones that aren't in Community Day just seems like an injustice. So that's why it's in there. And the 4th and final rule that I'm going to implement here just for myself and any of the contestants that I have featured on this Community Day is the loser of the Community Day Shiny Hunt will be subject to punishment. And so nothing too extreme. What I mean by that is no causing physical harm, no public humiliation, nothing that you wouldn't want to see have your grandma see on the internet. All right, let's keep it PG, let's keep it family friendly, because you know how YouTube is with their content ID system. It's not the most friendly, so we got to keep it PG. So you guys get to decide the punishment, whether it's me eating a pickle or Thomas eating a mint, because Thomas hates mints for some reason. I love mints and they help my breath smell better. But if that is something that is of mind as a punishment, that's okay. Let's try that out. The loser should do a punishment of some sorts, just out of simple and pure fun of losing community days. So this is your incentive to win community day, and I like incentives. So let's keep it fun, let's keep it PG, and we'll all have a good time here. And we will choose the best, most upvoted comment for a punishment when that time comes. There are gonna be 2 separate videos for these. We're gonna do the community day as one separate video, and then the loser will have to do their punishment in a separate video. And that's 2 videos every month for community day. And we won't know, obviously, in the future what the other community days are, even though you can get a pretty good idea of what they're gonna be. Like you know you're gonna get your starters. You know you're probably gonna get something special for Pokemon Let's Go coming up in November for probably Shiny Pikachu, which we already know Shiny Pikachu's already out, but the chances of you getting one are gonna be severely increased. But that's just something that I'm hypothesizing and theorizing about. But I digress. So if you guys are excited for this idea, let me know. Smash that like button like there's no tomorrow. And I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you guys subscribe to check out the first video of this series. It is going to be me versus Thomas. I don't know, my brother might get involved, but we don't know that for sure yet. I'll be working on that, but we'll be working on some content for this every community day, a shiny hunting race here for Pokemon Go, to bring the community just a little bit more together and have a good old time playing our favorite mobile game. I'll see you guys next time.